Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Friends, today I am going to discuss about MySQL, POSIX, C++ connectivity. So this is a complete discussion regarding how C++ functions you will use to connect to MySQL, local MySQL or remote MySQL, how you will run various queries to select the MySQL database, insert, delete, all these MySQL queries, how you will run from C++ functions. So this is a complete discussion how you which packages are required, how to install the MySQL packages for the development of MySQL. So I am going to discuss this in details today. So friends, before starting, let me show you. This is my channel. So here I have uploaded few more videos related to C++. You can view these videos as well. So, friends, let's start today's topic. So here I have already a sample program already written. So here I will be showing how this program will useful to connect to MySQL server and running various MySQL queries. So here I have to in Unix. This is a CentOS system. So here in CentOS system to connect to MySQL. So this is the MySQL header file. Basically, Unix provide a library which is a MySQL library, which is by default MySQL provides. So you can use this library to perform various MySQL connections. So here MySQL .h is there, which you need to include in your program. So these are MySQL various variables required as per the MySQL document. So here is the MySQL document which describes how to connect to MySQL server with this function call. So here it's my MySQL variable. Then here is the host name. This real connect function will connect to the MySQL server. So here you have to put the host name, then username, password of the MySQL, and the database name, which database you want to connect, and port is, if it is not default port, you can mention the port name. And here is the Unix socket, which socket, this socket is basically dependent on this host. If you are defining a host which is IP based host, then this is not useful. But if it is uh, if it is a pipe, so here it's mentioned like this. If it is a pipe, then you have to mention the Unix socket, and the last variable is the client flag. This flag is useful various defining various conditions, like these are the flag values you can pass while connecting to MySQL server. So here I am showing you the flow how. So these are some global variables you have to these are some MySQL variables you have to define, like this is for the row, fetching the row, and this is for resource, and this is the MySQL global variable, it will get initiated. So these are the two functions you have to call. Like initially you have to init the MySQL connection with this global variable. Once the object is defined, then you have to call the MySQL connect function. Once the object is created, MySQL global object will get created, then you have to call the MySQL real connect function. So here I am just connecting to the local host, to my local this system MySQL server. So the MySQL is installed in this server. So this server I am connecting localhost. Later I will show you another remote server, how to connect to the remote server. So these are the two different steps I will be showing today. So let's first understand this MySQL connectivity happens. Then I will be showing you how to run the queries. So first let's see how this connectivity happens. So let's compile this mysql.c file. Here is the compilation step. So here is the library file. Once this is the library file of the MySQL, and this is the path where it get installed. So this is my C file, and I am creating this object file. Out of this, after compilation, this object will get created. So here I am running. So you can see that there are no such file or directory because my library or development packages are not installed. So it is giving all this error because these variables, these are library variables, these are not here. So because this library and development package is not installed, so these errors are appearing. So if you see this kind of error, means you have to uh, install the package. So here I am installing the package first. So to do this development, MySQL development, you have to install the MySQL devel package. So by default, MySQL is installed in my system. Server is there. All these are there. So here I am installing the MySQL development package. So it will install all this library plus the header files in Unix system, CentOS system. So let's first let it get installed first. So you can see these. All the packages got installed. So now I will install, I will compile this plus files. So it got compiled without any error. That means it found all the libraries and header files after I have installed the MySQL devel package. So here you can see here that the MySQL client object is created and it got compiled successfully. So what I am doing in this so my first step is to initialize my global MySQL global object. Then I will connect to this database. If it fails to connect, it will provide me this error. So let's try to run this program. So here is my so here I got access denied error. So what does this mean is that with this username password it's unable to connect to this my localhost MySQL. So what I will do is I will provide. So there are steps in MySQL to provide the permission. So let's first provide the permission. So let's see how to do this. So here I am connecting to my local MySQL with because my MySQL is defined with some other password. So now I will provide the real connection passwords and permission. So to provide these username and password, so we have to grant all the privileges or few database privileges to this particular host and this with this password. So here I am running this. So here I am providing the privileges, and once the privileges is provided, then I have to flush the privileges. And now again I am running this. So here it got processed without any error. So that means these got connected successfully because no errors are printed. So here what I am doing is I am connecting to my local host system with this username password, and database I am connecting is the test. So let's check the test database now. So here I already created one test database. So inside the test database I have one employee table created already. So So here this employee table has ID and name. So this is what I have created. So now what I will do is I will insert record into this employee table, read the data from this table, and I will perform another action to delete the data from this table. So I will show you how to do this with MySQL library with the MySQL functions. So So to do this, I have two functions defined. One is MySQL select query, another is to run any other queries. So here MySQL select query, what I am doing is I am passing the query. Then what I am doing, I am running this MySQL query. So here the MySQL global object which I have already defined. So this function, what it will do, it will send the query, then it will get back the result in the res. Res is what I have defined here. So so here is the res I have defined where it can store all the results of the query. After running the query, it will store results will come to res. Then this row fetching will be done with this variable. So what I am doing here is inside the arrays I am storing the results, so I can get the number of fields here. So what I am doing, I am not reading all the fields here. So what maximum 10 fields I will read. So here is the MySQL arrays. So here it will fetch the rows, and one by one it will continuously, it will one by one it will run in while loop until the 10 rows are complete. Or we can fetch the number of fields and we can set it here, so the total number of fields whatever it will fetch, it will loop until then. So with this what it can do is it can just number of fields it will move. Then here row temp, it will get the value of that where actually there are two fields, it will be getting the two fields. And row temp, it will store, it will show the first field then the second field, because two times it will move. And here I will print the values of this variable. So this is what it will do. It's a dynamic query and it's a dynamic function. So how many fields or how many data you insert, it will dynamically fetch and print it here. So accordingly here process query is here. So here I have defined another function, process query. What this process query will do is here also I will pass the query and it will just run the query. So this one is for select and this one for any other queries. So friends, let's see how it works. So here first what I will do, I will insert record inside the DB. So let's first do insert query. So what it is doing is calling the process query, inserting the data inside the into table. So here is the process query I am calling. So let's so you can see that the table is empty now. So I will be inserting few data inside the into table. So let's do it. By recompiling this. So same data I am inserting four times. Now let's see this data is got inserted or not. So you can see that the same data is inserted five times. So now let's do something else. So now I am I am selecting this data and it will print the data. It will select and print the data. So you can see here that the it inserted the query and it read all the data from the table. So these many data are inserted. So now it is inserting and reading the data. So now every time it's inserting and how many rows it is there, it's getting printed. So now let's do something else. Let's remove the data from the table. So here I am inserting the data, then reading the data, and then removing all the data from the table. So let's recompile it again. So you can see that here the delete command runs successfully. Now if I put next time, so all the data is deleted. So now one data inserted, one data read, and again it is removed. So let's check this in table. So you can see that the removed data is removed from the table. So friends, this is how MySQL MySQL query and select works. So now let's see how to connect to a remote system. So I have another. So here I have another system. It's a remote system where I have another. Here I have another database created in remote system and same test database and same employee table is created. So let's check how to connect to this remote database. So far I have connected to a local database. So it can be defined as local host or loopback IP 127.0.0.1 you can put. But to connect to a remote database, how you will connect to a remote database is like this 172. So this is my remote database and I have kept the username password like this. So these queries I have already done there. So to provide access to instead of local host, it will be like this. Your local system where you are running this program, this IP you have to provide here. So this IP I have provided and I have shown you the so so I am connecting to another database now. So here I have recompiled. So here also is same, like it inserted one record, removed one record, printed one record. So it is doing it in the on the remote database. So let's see a simple example. Instead of removing, I will just insert and print. So let's see how it works. So 4 5 data entries are there. So let's connect to the database and see whether the data is inserted or not. So now I am connected to a remote database. So here, you can see that my program successfully inserted data into the remote database. So this is all about this is one simple example which completely shows how to insert, delete, and select records from the database, local and remote database. So it's very easy programming. So how this MySQL works and all the library and functions all are shown here. So friends, this is all about MySQL connectivity. So if you like to this video, you don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So here you can subscribe to my channel. So in future, if I will upload new videos, you will get a notification in your YouTube bell. So friends, thanks for watching. Thanks friends.